How does that work? Wow! Welcome back to the Ready Ones Go Festa. I'm old Big Mek, and in this video, we're talking about the new Ork Battleforce. But first, tanks! That's right, it is the month of March, and as I said a video ago, we are going to do a couple of new things here on the channel. Obviously, this channel is very Ork-centric. But we do talk about everything 40k and even most Games Workshop stuff. But a lot of longtime viewers know that I actually have a number of armies, as do my grots. So part of March is March for McCrag, obviously, which is for all the Ultramarine Beakies, including one of my grots, who has over 2,000 points of Ultramarines that he has built and painted himself, and he's only 8. So expect to see some more Ultramarine stuff this month. He's very excited to share all the new things that he's done and just kind of talk to other kids about getting into the hobby and kid hammer type stuff. So we'll be doing some of that. The other thing we're doing is Forward March, which is all about Imperial Guard. Now, I like to say that the Venn diagram between Ork players and Guard players is practically a circle, because for some reason, being into Orks and being into Guard just kind of goes hand in hand. I don't know if it's because they have all the DACA, or if Guard players are tired of getting stomped in close combat, and so then they come to the Ork side, but you end up with, I think, probably the most crossover armies in all of 40k are Orks and Guard. Obviously, Grot Guard armies are super duper big. Blood Axe armies are a thing. Diganobs are a thing. Like, there's just a lot of overlap there for some really, really cool armies. Now, I don't have an army that cool, unfortunately, but what I do have is very traditional, old school Imperial Guard. And, well, I take them a little too far. I keep everything working on them and, you know, all the options magnetized and ready to go. So I haven't gotten a whole lot actually done. In fact, I've been sitting on some of the same Metal Valhallans for 30 years. But we are going to fix that this March. We are getting all the Guard guys out. You can see them back there on the parade ground getting ready to march out. But while I am working on that video, I did want to throw up one more Ork video, because I'm always going to do another Ork video, but also what it is that new Battleforce was announced just a couple of days ago. We did a whole big video about the new Ork release, everything else that was announced at the Warhammer World birthday party, and kind of the hopes and dreams for what's still to come for the Orks and all that kind of stuff. But a big thing of the chatter that I've seen online since then is that this Battleforce is a cash grab to get rid of units that nobody wants. And at first blush, you kind of see that, right? There's 2 full units of Ludas, which are kind of bad in the game right now and are incredibly old models. There's another unit of the 10 Monopose Boys that nobody wants anymore because we already have enough. And there's the Stampa, which is a fantastic model right there. In fact, it might be the single biggest plastic model Games Workshop makes. There might be another one that's bigger, but I don't think so. It's way bigger than any of the Knights. It's way bigger than any of the Chaos Monstrosities. It's way bigger than any of the Flyers. I think you have to step up to Forge World Resin and get into Titans before you get anything bigger than the Stampa. So every Ork player loves the Stampa. They just really, really suck in the game. But it doesn't mean that they don't sell. The thing that got me about this with the box is that it has a truck in it too. And every Ork player needs 6 trucks. You just do. Actually, you probably need about 8. You can only use 6 in the game, but as far as actual truck models goes, you know, very famously, you buy 1 truck and 1 mech gun, and you have all the parts you need to build 3 mech guns, right? I mean, it's just one of the best models for kit bashing and doing crazy things with and stuff like that. So it's always in demand, and it's been really impossible to keep trucks on the shelf for years now for Games Workshop. So it's odd that they would put it in a box that's a box to get rid of things. Like, I don't think so. And so I've been thinking about it, ruminating on it, and this is what I've come up with. This Battleforce actually pairs really perfectly with the current Ork Combat Patrol, which is probably getting ready to go away. All right, old Big Mek here with the wardrobe change to remind you that we have merch. There is our Red Squig energy drink line, and of course our old Big Mek line. You can get stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, kids shirts, all that stuff at our Teespring, which is linked down below. One thing I did want to ask you though, these stickers that Teespring makes, they're quite large. You can't really do much with them besides stick them on like your actual buggy or on your carrying case. And I found a vendor that can make stickers, well, much more reasonable size. So I wanted to know if smaller stickers would be something you'd be interested in. One of the things that the patrons have asked for, another plug, we have a Patreon. There's a free level and a paid level, but you know, feel free to come on over and join us there. But one of the things that the patrons have asked for is actual banners, back banners and stuff like that, especially of the Red Squig, so that they could put it on the army, and that is something we're absolutely working on that we'll be making here in-house. But the stickers, I have this other sticker vendor that might be cooler. They're also way cheaper. They'd be like $2 each or 3 for $5 instead of, I think these big guys go for about $5 or $6 a piece. So just, if that's something you want, let me know. Or anything else that you want the design work on that's not just t-shirts or whatnot, let me know. Throw a comment down below, and old Big Mek will do what he can to make it happen for you. All right, moving on. So yes, Synergy, Battleforce, Combat Patrol. 6 minutes into the video, we finally come to the actual point. The combat patrols are changing. We know that it's part and parcel of 10th edition. Every army that's had its codex released has had a new combat patrol come out. Now, some of them have allowed older combat patrols to continue to be used, but the box itself is going away. So we know for sure that the Ork Combat Patrol is not long for this world. If you do not already own that box, you need to go buy it. It is one of the best value boxes Games Workshop has ever done for our army. You get 20 of the new boys, which, yeah, I know, they're the new Monopose boys, but they do look cool. But you get 20 boys, you get the Warboss and Mega Armor, which is a fantastic model and really, really good in the game. You get 3 of the brand new Def Copters, which, again, fantastic models, great in the game, and a Def Dread. So the value in that box, both for the number of kits, how cool they are, and like what they do on the battlefield. When I did my big review of Combat Patrols, that one was like one of the A+ ones, even outside of just being an Ork lover. It really, really is. So if you don't already own that Combat Patrol, definitely go pick it up. Now, that being said, if you are new to Orks, or you maybe don't have quite a gigantic collection yet or something like that, and you're thinking about this Battleforce, or you're just curious on what the heck I'm going on about, take a listen. Now, obviously, the points will change with the Codex, and the rules will change with the Codex and all that kind of stuff. But even the rules as they are right now, if you use that new Big Mek model that comes in the Battleforce as a Big Mek and Mega Armor, you can make a 2,000-point army basically out of those 2 boxes and a couple of extra things, and it works really, really, really well together. So the whole kind of part and parcel of this is you want things that synergize, right? That's why the Battleforce for the Beast Nagas was so good. Everything inside that box synergized with each other. If you had the old Beast Naga army box, it synergized with that. And I mean, God, just buy 2 of those boxes and you had an out-of-the-box army that was just amazing. And not all of the army boxes are like that. In fact, famously, a couple of Christmases ago, we had the Kildaka Warband that had the Trike, right? And at the time, the Trike, this is 9th edition, the Trike could only lead a Speed Wah, not a regular Wah, but nothing else in the box was a Speed Wah. Everything else was regular stuff. And it was just the worst box when it comes to actually being usable on the table, because you got leaders that didn't have anything to lead, and you had units that didn't have anything to lead them, and nothing worked well together. It was very disjointed. This new box isn't like that. You've got a Stampa, you've got 10 boys, you've got 10 Ludas, a truck, and the new Big Mek. Now, you put all that together with the Combat Patrol, and now you're looking at 30 boys, 10 Ludas, a truck, a Big Mek, the Warboss and Mega Armor, Stampa, Def Dread, and the Def Copters, right? You got quite a lot going on there. So how would you build that out? What would you do a little more? Well, here's what I would do. You can take those 30 Monopose boys and mix them all up so that you end up with a 20-man boy squad that actually all has slappas. Sluggas and Choppas, which is great. That's what you want. And you're going to put them with a Warboss, a regular Warboss, and a Weird Boy. Sorry, not a Weird Boy. You want the Knob with Wog Banner. So a Knob with Wog Banner and a Warboss with those 20 boys. You put them inside the Stampa. Big Stompy there can carry 22 things inside its belly. So he gets to walk around and keep that boy blob safe, and they can pop out when it's time, call their own Wog, and go stomp some things. Behind old Stompy there, you're going to have Death Dread walking along with him, along with a regular mech to buff him and, repair his wounds and make his shooting better. And then you're going to have the Death Copters deep striping in the back. You're going to buy another truck so that you've got a truck on the left flank and a truck on the right flank. You're going to put 20 of your boys the 10 boys left over with the shooters in one truck, and they're going to go harass things, and then the other truck is going to deliver the lootas. You don't want to shoot the lootas out of the truck. That's bad, but you do want to get the lootas within range of an objective, because when they shoot at objectives, they get to reroll all their hits. So you want to drop off the lootas and just let them do their thing and then go harass stuff with the truck. And then you've got enough points left over to have some Gretchen and a Met gun in the back with that new Big Mek. Now, I'm really hopeful for a points drop and some rules changes when all this happens. Maybe we can squeeze a squad of Mega Knobs in to go with the Warboss and Mega Armor, because right now he just kind of walks around on his own in this particular getup. But they do work well together. I mean, a couple of extra models, you can convert, a Warboss and a Knob with Wog Banner. That's no big deal. You buy one extra truck, you find 10 grots laying around somewhere. Boom, Bob's your uncle. You've got this army. It's 2,000 points in the current setup. And again, it actually has some synergy to it. So I was really excited about this. I'm excited to see where it goes. There was one other little piece of information that came out of all of this that I really needed to get into a video, and that is the Ufthak Blackhawk model. We talked about him at length. He came out. He's in people's hands now. One thing they notice is there's a little insert in the box, right? It has the instructions, and on the back is a data sheet. Now, that's not unusual. All of the models have that. The data sheets are not always accurate, right? See the Red Gabo and the Goth Rocker and stuff like that. They maybe are only useful for so long, and then they're legended and this, that, and the other thing. What was interesting about Ufthak is that he came with a generic Warboss profile, and that Warboss profile does not match the Warboss profile in the index. It's completely different. It's also on a 50mm base, and the current Warboss is on a 40. Why would they do that? Unless there's a new Warboss coming. Old Big Mek, his thinking cap, it ain't wrong yet. He just gotta wait long enough. But I'm telling you, I think there's more orcs coming, and I think a new Warboss is actually one of them. If you think about it, the current Warboss is really old. It's been out of stock online forever, and it only comes in one configuration, and Games Workshop has been all about redoing all of the leaders for the armies and making a box that has a bunch of different loadouts in it so that you can use all the different weapons options that are on the data card. So I still think we're going to see that coming based on the fact that Ufthak comes with a different Warboss profile rule set, which is completely legal to use, and it says 50mm base. So yeah, that was the updates I wanted to bring you. I wanted to let you know about more of the March stuff coming, the March for McCrag and the Forward March. We're going to be doing some of that moving forward here the next couple of weeks. Remind you about our merch and tell you all about that Battleforce and the Combat Patrol and the way that they merge together. We had a great discussion about this on our Discord, actually. It's completely free to join. There's a link down in the description below. You should definitely come check it out. We do way more than orcs there. We got pretty big sections already going on Imperial Guard. There's some Death Guard guys. There's some Eldar guys. There's all sorts of stuff. We will be expanding to the whole 40k universe. So yeah, if you want to talk 40k stuff, hop on in there, and especially if you want to talk orcs, hop on in there, because there are some great war bosses in there that are observing these things, coming up with these stratagems, and it's really a fun community, especially if you like kit bashing stuff. We're really good at that. All right, that's all I got for you on this video. So until next time, Wog on!